Thank you, Lobsang, for joining us today. I'm really excited to have this interview. Lobsang is one of our more active alumni. So Lobsang, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing now, and when you graduated from the DOM program.
Yes, so yeah, after I graduated from the DOM program, so me and my friend Youngdon, we are actively working together in the Quinte Clinic in Daly City, California. And yes, and then also we are running a Tibetan medicine class at the side. So we are kind of pretty busy working together after graduating. So it gave me, the DOM program gave me a lot of skill to run all these programs.
And what year did you graduate?
2020.
Are you, I know during the program you were doing the meditation program through the prisons. Do you still do that?
Yeah, I still actually after the COVID, so I couldn't continue doing that because there's so many requirements, like they're testing like 2 times a week or so, and then I stopped doing it. So hopefully I can go back soon.
Nice, very nice. All right, let's talk about the DOM program. What was one of your fondest memories? What did you like best about the program? Just tell us a little bit about your experience.
Gosh, there's so many things that I can tell. Let me think. Okay. The founders program that I really had experience in the DOIM program is like, learning the classical texts. Like, they are really go very depth in it. And especially like there's so many great, outstanding professors there, right? So I don't want to mention names because if you miss the name, you won't be disrespectful. So yes, all the teachers are great, and they really know how to teach. There's many doctors, they are great doctors, but they don't have sometimes they don't have a good skill to teach, right? So all the DOMS professors they have like tons of an experience and through their practice for many years, decades. At the same time, they know how to deliver, their knowledge to the students. That is the most important thing to have as a professor. And yeah, so and also it's unlike master's program. So DOM program, all the students are like super experienced and great knowledgeable students, right? So of course there are many new, just fresh off the boat students like me too from the masters. Because of them, so even though I don't know how to ask their questions, but when they ask the question, I get a lot of knowledge from them. The way they ask question, I can tell their experience through their practice for many years before joining the DOIM. So that is the one. And then, one of the thing is we go to dinner with the professors, end of our class, right? So that would be like cool, so we get it. It's still very casual meetings, but at the same time, I feel so bad sometimes, for the professors, because students keep asking the, questions about all the, subject related, not like just having a fun conversation sometimes, because these students are, seniors, and they really want to learn, right? Because they have so many experience, they know what to ask the question through their own experience. So they get a chance to, grab all the, answers from the teachers. So yeah, that was the cool, like, the sitting with the teachers and end of the class and having dinner. That is like very good experience I had. So many, but this is the only few I just wanted to mention.
That was always fun. That's one of my favorite things, was the big group dinners too. Was there anything that stood out? I mean, there's so much you already given us, but is there anything, one thing or two things that stood out that helped you personally or helped your career?
Oh yeah, personally, after the program, so the knowledge I learned from the program, they helped me to actually manage the clinic and then making communication with the patients. So for me, that helped me a lot because, the knowledge I received during the DOM program is very intensive. And then I get a lot of information how to deliver the, message to the patients, right? So there's so many patients come and they have so many questions because they don't know anything about TCM, Chinese classical medicine. And then when they ask about the qi and the yin and yang thing, at the beginning, I don't know how to answer. So now after they graduated from the, GYM program, I really get the knowledge to how to, explain to them, like, a sense of the, like, just lay people's term, not only the professional level, right? Sometimes, we just talk about like very, our own world. So then when you deliver to the patient, patients have no idea. They just say, but they don't know what you're talking about. So then when we, come down to the lay people's term, and they're really helpful for the patients to understand and then become like more close relationship.
Oh, nice. So before I ask you the last question, I do want to point out, because I think it's so cool, and I'm throwing a curveball at you, so I apologize, but you did your capstone thesis on a translation of Tibetan acupuncture. Do you want to just tell a little bit about that? Because I'm still waiting for your book to come out. But
yeah, so that was great. Tibetan medicine has an acupuncture parts too. And then, after I learned the Chinese medicine, I feel like, wow, this Tibetan medicine, Tibetan acupuncture is very what do you call it? Underestimated, and so people just know really they're using that much, because the one thing is when they explain point locations, they are very traditional way. They haven't translated properly and they don't have a proper measurement as an acupuncture, which is more like, new, how to say, translation. So when they learn acupuncture points, then I copy the system from the acupuncture points and then translate it into the Tibetan acupuncture. So it's very, very, very interesting. There's so many points. There are very similarities. There are dissimilarities, and sometimes they have like the same location but different purpose. So I didn't get a in-depth time and knowledge to practice and see the this research on it. But it would be cool if I get a chance and time to do more different research on between these two things.
Always something to do.
Yeah. So when you ask me the capstone, it reminds me what one of the founders thing that I found during the DOIM program is like brainstorming about the capstones. There's so many students, they came up like so many different ideas about their subject. So that is like very, very, very cool. Like, you get so many brainstorming and talking to each other and like, and everybody's different kind of like subjects. Sometimes like you even think like, why are you choosing that subject, right? Then when they explain to me like, wow, that makes sense. You should do that, right? So yeah, so that is actually one of my founders things too. It's difficult. It's difficult, but it's so much fun. It is. I would say it is like I like hot, chili sauce, right? Hot pepper. So it's like hot pepper. When people who likes eating a chili, it burns your mouth at the same time you enjoy it, right? So it's like that. Capsule it's not easy work. It's a lot of work, but but you really enjoy it at the same time.
I'm so going to use that analogy from here on out when I explain the capstone. Oh, all right. So if someone is considering the DAOM program or they've just started, what is your best advice now that you've made it through?
My best advice, number one, talk to our great Dean, Dr. Robert Sutter. She's very, very, very helpful, and she really guides you, and she's very understanding. And she tells you, she really, guides you all the things. The second thing is, I don't know advice, but I just want to let you know that, be prepared to receive the knowledge and, ancient classical wisdoms. You will learn a lot. So one thing that I want to tell you is when I was in the master's program, and one day I came to my classroom earlier, and then there was a DOM program next to me, next to my classroom, right? And then I was curious, like, I have a few minutes and I was curious about what they're talking about. I just want to know, just listening to at the door, the eavesdropping. And then teacher said, that was the first day of the class, I can tell. Teacher says, welcome to the doctor's program, right? And say, okay, I just want to listen to what he's talking to, He said, Now you're in the real Chinese classical medicine world. I said, what? We have been studying like in the master's program for like years. They graduated after 3 or 4 years. So now you said just welcoming in the Chinese medicine. And then, so then after I joined in the DOM program, I feel like, yeah, that is true, So you're really learning, real Chinese traditional classical medicine when you join the DOM program. So what I'm going to say is be prepared to receive a lot of knowledges and wisdoms from the great professors. And yeah, so if I give you another analogy, if you like analogy.
Yeah, the best
If you don't
one.
like, if you don't like, you can cut it off. Yeah, so there is the Buddhist or Tibetan traditional way of the qualification for students to have. We call like students are like containers, like receiving the knowledge, right? You are a container, right? So there's a pre-qualification, how to say, qualification that students should have. Number one, okay, shouldn't have, then automatically become like should have, right? You get the answer. For example, 3 containers. One container is you shouldn't be a container that upside down. That means no matter how much you put, no matter what you put, you won't contain. Everything just goes off, right? Is the number one. Then opposite is should be always, right up and then ready to hold. Number 2 is the container with the, contaminated container, contaminated. So contaminated container, no matter how delicious food you put in, it won't be edible, right? Meaning you should have good intention why you are here, why you're studying that one, So not just coming for the class to see, hey, how the professor's doing, I just want to, so that is not, you have to have a good intention to why you're studying for that, because of course you are learning the medicine and the healthcare system, so that means you're helping other beings, right? No matter you're charging or not. So you have to charge because you have to survive. So then your main intention should be, I'm helping the other living beings. And then number 3 is the container with the holes. That means listen carefully. I had the trouble. Sometimes I become like, container with the holes. I am the one. So so if there's a hole in the container, it just leaks down, right? So it won't hold the knowledge in there. So these are the 3, how to say, negative qualification shouldn't have, and then opposite is the should have. So that is the analogy I want to give again.
I like that. I like that because it speaks to being engaged and not just watching class.
Right. So yeah, that is the one. And then don't be scared of, just talk to the, our dean, great Dr. Stoller, and then she will make you like, easy.
Not
She will
easy.
guide you. She will guide you. She will guide you everything. She's very helpful. I know, thanks for your help. You're busy, but you really help us. Like sometimes we ask you stupid questions, but you feel like, wow, it's not a stupid question. So
it's not a stupid question. There's no stupid questions.
I know, right? Yeah, you always make us feel like, wow, this is important.
Well,
yeah, that's the only thing I have.
Thank you so much for your time. Let me stop recording.